In this session, we're going to take a look at GGPlot, which is the data visualization library that comes packaged with the Tidyverse. The GG in GGPlot stands for Grammar of Graphics. The Grammar of Graphics effectively defines a way of breaking visualizations down into components so that we can piece together all kinds of different types of visualizations from individual components, which makes GGPlot a very flexible way for creating visualizations. GGPlot graphics consists of three key components: the data, geoms, which are effectively chart types, and aesthetics, which are the different types of properties that you can apply to the charts. Let's go over an example. In a new script, I'm first going to load up my library Tidyverse. In this example, we're going to look at the dataset MPG. Let's just quickly send this to console to remind us of what the dataset contains. Now the first command here that I'm going to type in is GGPlot, followed by the dataset. Now right now, if I hit Control Enter, we can see that the plot area here turns gray. This is effectively a blank canvas. So the plot is ready for us, but we haven't defined any different chart types to display here. Let's go ahead and add a scatter plot to this graphic and then give that plot some properties that we can have a little bit of a play around with. The syntax of GGPlot is a little bit different. You take different components of the plots and combine them using the plus sign. So I have a data set here, and I'm going to go plus, come down to a new line, and start to type in geom. Here we can see that we have a whole range of different options, which we will look into in just a sec. But for now, let's just pick a geom point, which is what we're going to use for a scatter plot. And the first property here, mapping, takes a property which is a function called AES, which is short for aesthetic. The aesthetic property allows us to specify things, for instance, the x-axis. So in this case, we're going to set the x-axis equal to displacement, which is basically one of the columns in our dataset. We're going to set the y column to highway, which is another one of the columns in our dataset. So if I hit Control Enter now, we can see the scatter plot over here. Now in Excel, it starts to get really complicated if you start to add too many different dimensions to your data. If you've used tools like Tableau, you'll know that there's lots of different ways of visualizing different dimensions. For example, we could add another dimension to this by using color. And I'm going to visualize the dimension class, which is one of the groupings in our data. Hit Control Enter, and we have all these colors down here. I'm just going to copy this for a sec, just so that we can see a few of the other settings that we can use. So all of these lines are the same. I'm just going to play around with this last aesthetic property here. So I'm going to change color to size. And as you can see, the class changes to size. So each class has a different dot size. We could change this to shape. where each class is represented by a different icon. Or you change the alpha. So the alpha is the transparency level. So up the top here, we can see we have more transparent items, which show as a lighter colored dot, all the way down to zero transparency, which shows a darker dot. We can also combine several of these into one. So if I have lots of different dimensions that I want to visualize on my data, I could say color equals class, size equals year, and alpha equals model. And shape equals drive. Control Enter to send that to console. Let's zoom in to make that a little bit bigger. And we can see here that we have a visualization which enables us to see multiple dimensions on a single two-dimensional chart. This has been a lecture from my course, R Reporting and Analytics for Excel Users.